Hey, welcome back to Zamora Models. Glad you stopped in and joined us today. In this video, I'm going to be opening a gift that I got for Christmas. One of my other hobbies is trucks. It's also one of the careers that I've made. So this is a gift that I got for Christmas. I'd like to know what else you guys got for Christmas, so if you want to share with us, go ahead and put in the comments below if you got anything model related. And so this is Walthers Cornerstone Series International Truck Dealership in HO scale. It's item number 933-4025, and it MSRPs for $49.98. Currently, at the time of this filming, it is on sale for $31.98, I believe. This kit measures 8 7/8 inch wide, 12 1/4 inches deep, and 3 7/8 inches tall. Internationals, when I started commercial driving, International was one of the first trucks that I actually drove out in the field. They're pretty decent trucks. They're not top of the line. If you were to compare it, for example, to a Peterbilt, but they are pretty good trucks. They're a well-known brand. So this this kit will fit nicely in any modern era layout. Give you a close-up of the dimensions there. Just like with any of these kits, you get the building, and on this one you do get the sign, which is not mounted to the building. It's separate, freestanding. But everything else in the picture is sold separately. Lots of different vendors sell International trucks. If you want to stick with the with what Walthers can provide and do one big purchase, Scene Master, which Walthers is a vendor for, has a lot of International trucks that you could use. But that's another video. I'm only going to go over what's in this kit. So looking at the box art here, the building has 3 different styles on the box art of building. The front main portion of the building, the showroom portion, if you will, is a stucco type smooth wall building, maybe that concrete or something. There's a side area right back here where this gentleman is standing. That is a brick building, and then the very back section back here is a cinder block building. So it's kind of an interesting mix to see that many different types. I'm also not used to seeing a dealership service center shaped or configured like this. I've been to a couple different dealerships. I'm not going to say that I've been to all of them. I'd be lying if I did. So I'm not going to say that this isn't a prototypical floor plan or building footprint for a dealership. It's just not what I'm used to seeing. I was going to consider getting a second kit to kit bash it into what I'm used to seeing. I am going to be making a diorama with this kit. But because one part of the building is a different building material than the second part, and the second part's different than the third part, I'm just going to go ahead and build it as is. Typically what I see is the maintenance bays will be lined in a long building with doors going down both sides. And the purpose of that is because some of these trucks, when you get, for example, heavy haul or your cement mixers or your super dumps, which will have multiple axles under them, they don't really have a good turning radius. So to have a building like this where the truck has to make a sharp turn between a building doesn't make it all too practical. So most of the buildings that I've seen for service centers have it to where the truck can just pull straight in and straight through the building. But again, I'm not saying that this is wrong. I have dealt with a small dealership that had added on to its original building, and had also added two separate metal easy to construct buildings. I don't know exactly what they're called. And those buildings were not aligned with his original building. But with that said, let's jump into the features of the kit. It's a brick and concrete block construction building. It has a showroom and service area, modern era. It has non-operating exterior lights and roof vents, authentic dealership printed signage, and the freestanding international tower sign. I'm not, also another side note is I'm not used to truck dealerships having a showroom. Usually what I see is a parts room where they might show off a little bit of chrome on the walls, and then you just have your most common parts in the part area, your coiled air lines, lug nut covers, CB radios, antennas, stuff of that nature. As well as a service desk, and then the back portion of it will all be offices and whatnot. So let's dive into the kit here and see what we get inside. This is your standard Cornerstone box, so you have a little bit of it's a cardstock artwork that is glued to the box, and then the contents of the box is wrapped in a bag. Looks like we get at least two molded colors. That's not including the clear window glazing. I don't really call that a color because it's more of a lack of color. Get that box out the way. So mine came on the bottom side, includes your information. Okay, these are on the inside. So inside the instructions you have your signage. A lot of cool different signs there. Body shop parts, used trucks, service. I am going to break my building down to have almost like it was added on. The front will be the parts area and service center, and then the brick portion of the building will be the service bay, and the back cinder block portion of the building I'm going to have as an added on building section for a body shop. And then on the first page of the instructions you get that looks like the rear cinder block portion of the building. And on the inside you get a larger diagram of different portions, and on the next page it shows you how the building actually comes together. Looking at the instruction, it does look like there's a lot of doors and windows all the way around it. Again, just not in the fashion that I'm used to seeing. And then we get our last page of instructions there. And let's get to the meat and potatoes, Evan, and get our parts out here. Alright, so the first sprue that I'm going to pull up here is, I'll orient that so you can read it, is our international tower sign. There is some flash on the model here that's going to need to get cleaned up. Not too much though, real quick cleaning job. I do like the international words there. Those are very nicely done, nice and crisp on them. What is this part? I don't know. This is one of the roof sections. Looks like we got some vent detail on top. I'm going to presume that this is the top. Definitely something up there. Again, I don't know exactly what that's for. There's also a hole in it, and that's a nicely done hole, so I believe that's intentional. I will probably modify this roof somehow to be more realistic. The roofs are never that shiny, and I'm just using a basic living room light here. So that roof's going to get slightly modified, maybe some tar paper or gravel or something on top of it. And here we got some of our downspout details, some of the doors. And also some abutments. All these parts look pretty nicely done. Good amount of detail on them. The doors have nice roll-up doors. Where we go here? There we are. I'm gonna focus on it. Nice 3 windows in the doors. Very defined lines, so that way if you want to weather up the doors or put a wash on it to make the doors pop out a little bit, these doors will be very nice for that. They are solid plastic, so if you want to model them in a raised position, you can do that. But you might have to cut the door down to not hit the roof. And I'm going to presume that this is our other roof section. Again, it does have looks like a pre-drilled hole there. And actually looks like these stubs are for roof vents that they have on this last sprue. So yes, those are for a roof detail. Again, I'm going to do something to this roof to get rid of that shine. And this is our showroom sprue. Has a lot of our windows, our front doors, as well as some of the side windows, back windows, some more roof vents right here in the middle. I don't see too much flash on these parts, but looking at these parts, it does look like these are a pin and hole installation, meaning if you look at the bottom here, there's some little holes, and on the adjoining wall sections where this glues into, there will be a little peg or a pin, so those holes will line up into those pins, or the pins will line into the holes, so you get your windows and doors straight, and also to make a better secure connection. And this is just a sprue of some molding, crown molding, or I'm not sure if you'd call it exterior molding, crown molding. Some molding on the roof line and the edge of the building. This piece here goes over the showroom windows. Again, there is a little bit of flash. You can see right up here, a little bit of flash there, not too much. Yeah, I do think that this mold still has some life to it left. Or clear window glazing, or for more advanced modelers, trash. And this piece is going to be our base piece, if you want to build it on the base piece, or at least use this to square the building sections up. It does have the pieces go on the inside, so that way you can square it all the way around as you're building it. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this in the final product, but it is included if you want to use it. And the real nice part of the building that I like to go into, so we've got our first piece here. You do have a blank section here where it joins up with the bricked section of the building. This is the cinder block section. All four walls of it. Turn that one right way up. So we get two bay doors on the cinder block building. You get a bay door and a pedestrian door on the back. Very nice brick, cinder block brick detail in there. If you want to do a brick and mortar, it'll work very well on this. And you also have a crown little molding on top there. And then next to, so that was the very, very back wall. Next to the brick building, you get another bay door. The two doors are not aligned with each other. So any truck that goes in there is going to have to turn twice. Once to get in it and once to get out of it. And then on the side door, it's not a pedestrian door, but it looks like maybe a freight door for receiving parts or whatnot. Because it's also not a bay door on one of the side walls. And then the other side wall is just a brick building. Or brick wall, there's no doors or windows. And on our last sprue for this kit, we have our one more cinder block building section, which is over here, so we do get one more bay door. A very small wall there. And then this is our brick. The rest of the pieces on this sprue are either brick or smooth. So our brick sections, we have one here, a partial one here with a remaining blank wall, and then another partial one here with a remaining blank wall. The brick detail, if I can get this to zoom in, you do get the concrete sills above the windows. Brick detail is nicely done, very nicely molded. If you choose to do brick and mortar, again, it's going to nicely show up and create a very nice effect for your model. The doors do have pedestrian doors here, do have recessed door frames as well as door knobs. And I'm looking at this last brick section around the bay door on the sides. You can see it right here a little bit. You can also see it right here on this one. It looks like the mold kind of angled a little or warped. The brick doesn't visually look straight to me. It looks like it bows out just slightly. That might be my eye being off, but that's what it looks like to me. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. It's about one brick length wide. So if you can see that, let me know in the video, in the comments below. I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem, but my eye just tends to focus on stuff like that. So that's our kit, and I will be doing a video series on this, on how I'm building it and building the diorama. It's going to have lights and detail parts in it, additional detail parts that Walthers is selling. They're on pre-order right now. If you want to pre-order them, they're due in March, which is designed for this kit. I will have the item number and description in the comments below, or not in the comments, in the video description. So I hope that you guys will come back and see the finished product of this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video.